I just watched a YouTube video about three. It's actually four black women that were in the car when it happened, but three of them passed away. So basically, they were coming from a party. They were coming from a party, okay? And we know what happens at a party. Chief weed, get drunk. Either you have sex with someone in the party, or you get someone from the party and then you take them back to your place, or whatever. That's what happens at the parties. If you didn't know, that's what happens. So these four ladies, they're probably in their 30s. They look old. When I watch the video, they look old. At least if they're not in their 30s, late 20s, because they look old. When you start drinking and all that, it ages you faster. So those women look older than maybe what they are. So three of them died. How did they die? Okay, they were going 110 miles per hour in a Jeep. That's what we saw in the video that they recorded and posted. But they could have been going 80 miles, 90 miles per hour. But in a straight line, they were going 115. Okay? But they could have slowed down because they saw a curve coming, braked, but it was too late. So what happened is that these women didn't have seatbelts on, but they were drunk. The driver was at least drunk. If the passengers were drunk, but the driver was sober, you know, at least sober enough to get them home safely, this wouldn't have happened. But the driver, you could see in the video, also had a liquor bottle in her hand, drinking. So if she had the liquor bottle in her hand, drinking, you know she's not supposed to be driving. But she was driving because they were all drunk. You see, that's what the Bible tells you, not to hang around fools. The Bible also warns you, the Proverbs warns you not to hang around idiots, people who are sinning. The Bible tells you being drunk is a sin. So if you're taking the Bible serious, you probably shouldn't be hanging around people that want to get drunk, go to a party and fornicate. But you did that. Okay, fine, you did that. But you didn't know that day that you crashed was going to be your last day on earth. They didn't know that. Those three women, they didn't know that they're going to die and be burning in hell right now. They didn't know that. But they kept on doing it because God had some grace for them and they didn't die. You think it was the first time getting drunk and getting behind the wheel and driving? No, it wasn't. It wasn't their first time. But it's their last time doing it. You see that? It's their last time doing it. It wasn't their first time, but it's their last time. At least for three of them. One of them survived. But they said she had a brain injury, broken vertebrae and all that type of stuff, a spleen. I think a spleen is like your spine is broken or something like that. I think that's what a spleen is. It might not be that, but I know it hurts. I know it hurts. So I'm assuming she didn't have a seatbelt on either. But maybe the way the car flipped, she probably ejected safer than the rest. Because all three are dead, but one of them is alive. And that's some grace right there. You were a fool, but God has some grace on you because you are still alive. Even though you're in pain, you're probably going to be in pain for the rest of your life if you even survive this, because she's probably in critical condition right now. Brain damage, you're in critical condition. So she's probably going to be in pain for the rest of her life. But pain on this earth is nothing like what you're going to be facing down there, burning in hell with Satan. So you better be thankful to God that he saved you and gave you some grace. And if you survive it, if you don't even survive it, you better be repenting and asking God for forgiveness, so that if you do go, that you're still safe in heaven. Because the people that died, the three of them that were dead in our car, they burning in hell. I don't know where everybody goes when they die, but I know that if you weren't living for Christ on earth, you're going to be living for Satan in hell. That's what we know. But we don't know how God judges anyone, all right? We don't know how God is going to forgive, whatever. We don't know. But we know that if you don't accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior before you die, you're going to be burning in hell. So if I'm thinking these 4 women, they didn't accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, or they weren't very serious about it. It was just a phase. Because me, I'm not getting drunk and getting behind the wheel because I don't really want to die, and I also don't want to like break my spine and be paralyzed. Because I want to be energized. I want to be strong. I want to be healthy, walk around with my wife and my kids. So I don't want to do nothing stupid if I can control it. I can control what goes into my body. I can control what type of beverages are entering my system. And even if I decide to put some liquor in my body, I also have the choice on my phone to order Uber. You know that? I also have the choice on my phone to pick it up and call my mom, call my dad, call my girlfriend, call my wife, call my sons, call my friends, call my brothers, my sisters to come pick me up. You see how many options I just listed? That was like 10 contacts you could have called. If you have no friends, you at least have a mom. Maybe at least have a dad. If you don't have a dad, you might at least have a sibling or a step sibling or something like that. You have something. We all have something, an uncle or something. But they ignored all those options and chose to drive behind the wheel. The thing is too, they didn't even put the liquor away at the party, so they weren't done drinking. They kept on drinking. They kept on drinking. You get me? These people kept on drinking. In the car. Isn't that crazy? Like, let's say I've never gotten drunk. Let's say I got drunk at a party. Me, I'm not taking no liquor with me home because the police, if I even get pulled over, the police want to smell alcohol on me because they think I'm intoxicated. So imagine having alcohol in the car and you're drunk. Like, that's even more issues you're about to face. You understand what I'm saying? That's more issues you're about to face because now you got alcohol is open in your car, so you know the smell is going to be worse than if it's just from your breath. So now the police has a just cause to search your car. Now you got an open liquor bottle in your car. That's even more charges you might face. So me, I'm grateful because at least one of them got saved, and hopefully she could dedicate her life to Christ, and God could use her as an example for other people that are doing these type of stupid things. Because all 4 of them could have been burning in hell right now, but only 3 is burning. So that's at least some grace right there. So you got to be thankful for that because God doesn't give everyone like that grace at all. We all have done stupid things, but I think the way God works is that, man, if you're a child is way different. If you're a child and maybe a young adult, there's some type of grace. I feel like there's some type of grace there for you. Because when we think back, like a lot of kids should have been dead. Like a lot of my friends should have been dead, locked up, all this type of stuff. I should have been locked up or whatever. But I'm still here though. That means God has some grace for me. I wasn't saved at 15, 14. I wasn't saved. I was a degenerate. I was a player. I was a dog or whatever, a womanizer. I was all that. So I'm like, I didn't catch no STD. I didn't die. I didn't get nobody pregnant. That was some grace because I was a child. I was a fool. I didn't know nothing. I was foolish. But now as an adult, I can't be foolish anymore because now God could really, really, really judge me now. God could really judge me now because I have a sober mind. My eyes are open. I know the truth. So if I know the truth and I keep on acting stupid and not accepting Jesus Christ's grace, then I deserve to burn in hell. But God is so kind and so loving that he gives children grace. Because you see what kids be doing? Some kids are just crazy. Some kids are murdering people, killing people, all that type of stupidness. So that God might not have no grace for that because murder is crazy. But maybe fornication, because God understands that he puts sexual desire in us. At the age of 15, because the world messes us up, we are introduced to like sex quicker than most. I would say we are introduced to sex quicker or quickly. So that's why I think God has grace for us in that aspect, in fornication, because we all deserve to be burning in hell. But some of us are not burning in hell because God has some grace for us. So me, I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful for that. I want to put myself in that situation. Hey, prayers up for the woman that survived. Hopefully you take this as a lesson that, man, life is very short and one thing could lead to the next and you could be out of here. Me, I'm not really scared of anything now because I'm saved. Like, I'm assured. I know that I'm going to heaven because I've dedicated my life to Christ. I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. So, like, I'm not scared of death because I know where my soul is going. But if it's you, you don't know where your soul is going, you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you don't believe in nothing, you're still living life like how you were living at 18, then you should be scared to die because God will definitely hurt you. God will definitely punish you when you die. So please, accept Jesus Christ if you want to. If you don't want to, it's on you. You're gonna have to see him. You're gonna have to see him though when you die, okay? You don't believe him now, but you're gonna have to see him when you die.